The Fort Faesch House is located on Mount Hope Road in the Mount Hope section of Rockaway Township, Morris County, New Jersey. Rockaway Township is positioned in the Highlands Physiographic Province, also known as the Reading Prong of the New England Upland, which adjoins the Piedmont region to the southeast. The Fort Faesch House is located on Mount Hope Road near the intersection of that road and the entrance to the former Mount Hope mine property. The front of the house, oriented to the southeast, faces the entrance road, and its southwest side elevation faces Mount Hope Road. Access to the property is from Mount Hope Road. The Fort Faesch House is a fine example of a late 18th century ironmaster's house located within the setting of the historic Mount Hope mining village. Constructed in 1772, the Fort Faesch House is a two-story center hall building. The house has a gable roof, masonry walls, and a one-story side wing at its east and west ends. The front elevation faces southeast. The east wing contains the kitchen and is still extant. The foundation and walls are constructed of rubble fieldstone with wood clapboard siding in the gable ends. The roof is a side gable clad with asphalt shingles, and the roof drainage system is half-round hung gutters. The significant architectural features of the building include the original center hall, a double-pile Georgian plan with its fenestration pattern, rubble fieldstone masonry walls, and many of its original interior features and finishes, such as central fireplaces, wood bases and chair rails, plaster finishes, and built-in closets. The Fort Faesch House is associated with the origins of the iron industry in Morris County, as it was originally built as the ironmaster's house. The house was originally constructed for John Jacob Faesch, who leased the property from Colonel Jacob Ford, Jr. Ford, a resident of Mount Hope at the time, had extensive land holdings and leased the Mount Hope property to Faesch and his partner Daniel Risberg. Faesch was involved in the iron industry at Mount Hope for a period of 15 years and built a furnace on the property he leased from Ford. The house and property were witnesses to the iron industry in the region from the late 18th century to the late 20th century, and including playing a role in supplying ammunition for the Continental Army during the American Revolution. The house served many uses after Faesch's occupancy related to the mining activities at Mount Hope, and was altered numerous times to reflect the changes made by various individuals who resided here while being involved in the mining industry throughout much of the 19th and early 20th centuries. Alterations were made to the house in the early 19th century, mid-19th century, late 19th century, early 20th century, late 20th century, and early 21st century. Fort Faesch House was individually listed on the New Jersey Register in 1973 and the National Register of Historic Places in 1974. The Township of Rockaway and the Historical Society of Rockaway Township have been faithful stewards of the property since 1983. The Fort Faesch House is also significant due to its association with John Jacob Faesch, the iron master for whom the house was constructed. Born in Basel, Switzerland in 1729 and came to America in 1764. He rented the Mount Hope property beginning in 1772, and it was at this time that the Fort Faesch House was constructed for him. Faesch was responsible for the construction of the Mount Hope furnace, which was located across Mount Hope Road from the house. During the American Revolution, Faesch and the Mount Hope mining operations provided supplies for the Continental Army in the form of shot, shells, cannonballs, and other support items. By 1783, after the death of Jacob Ford Jr., and through the purchase of additional properties, Faesch owned over 6,000 acres of land, 1 furnace, and 2 forges, essentially developing full-scale mining operations and production facilities. He eventually purchased the large tract of land he had been leasing from Ford. The Mount Hope furnace operated from 1772 to circa 1827. During his tenure at Mount Hope, Faesch expanded his business operations throughout Morris County, and in addition to owning the Mount Hope furnace, also either owned outright or was a partner in about a half-dozen other ironworks. In 1784, he partnered in establishing a forge at Boonton to manufacture the ore mined in Mount Hope. Faesch was also heavily involved in public service, serving in state-level appointments to the county court and as a Morris County delegate to the New Jersey Convention to ratify the U.S. Constitution. John Jacob Faesch died in 1799. In his lifetime, he became one of the most successful ironmasters in Morris County and established Mount Hope as an important regional center of the iron industry. The Fort Faesch House is also significant as a fine example of a vernacular stone ironmaster's residence that utilizes the Georgian styling and plan that was popular through most of the 18th century. The Fort Faesch House is also significant for its potential to yield information about the early mining industry in Morris County, due to the significant role Mount Hope played in the industry. Archaeological investigations have been undertaken at the Fort Faesch House on 4 occasions since the Historical Society and Township took over stewardship. These investigations have evaluated the archaeological potential of the property as well as determined previous unknowns about the building's history and development, such as verifying the west wing was an original feature. There is potential for future investigations to yield additional information about the history of the house and its role in the iron industry.